Welcome to Healing Minds, a place where you explore your inner world and learn healing practices to a better mental well-being. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video. To Healing Minds, I'm Tanya, and this is where I discuss healing practices and speak openly about healing depression and anxiety. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about the term perfectionism or perfect. Actually, it's a term not in my vocabulary because I don't believe in perfect, but of course, this view is different for different people. There are some people that they're focused on perfectionism, and it all has to do with choices for your life, whether it's from your values, your cultures, your expectations of yourself. So there are many people who are fixated on perfectionism, which can be very risky for someone who is undergoing depression. In another video, I have shared the levels of depression, whether it's mild, moderate, and severe. And someone who strives to be perfect, and that can be in various aspects of your life. It can be job choices, career, family, hobbies, body image, anything that you choose where you have the pressure of yourself, whether it's from, again, everyone varies as far as what their personality is, what your personality is, your cultural, how you were raised. Maybe you were raised in a high pressured environment and there's high expectations in certain areas of your life. So you have created the term of perfectionism that is in your vocabulary. And the definition, again, is different to different people. So let me share with you 3 ways of striving for perfectionism. Can be risky if you are undergoing depression, whether you're mild, moderate, especially severe, can be very, very dangerous, the term perfectionism. So number 1, why it's risky to have the ideal image of perfectionism in your mind when you are depressed is because this thought pattern is always prevalent in your mind. It's always there. You're always setting high expectations of yourself. You're working hard to achieve something that's demanding, a goal, whether that's in your career, hobbies, personal relationships, something. It could be anything in your life that you're pushing yourself. You have to push yourself because it's this level of accomplishment you need. Whether you need that because that's the way you were raised, that's how you accept and love yourself, or whether you're looking for that factor from other people. So that sense of accomplishment, which you term perfectionism, is important because you have these high standards in your life. You have these high standards. It's whether it's this or nothing at all, basically. So you have this predisposition towards that. And again, there's nothing wrong with that because it has to do with personality type, again, cultural, how you were raised, and just how you want to live your life. But the problem with that is it can cause emotional suffering, especially when you're going through depression. It can aggravate the depression. So all this good and accomplishment and more attitude that you want can backfire because it can disrupt the system of like, hey, something minor can be something major because it's not working out. You're not reaching that perfectionist standard. And then that causes you to be more depressed. So this perfectionistic thinking based on your ideals of your life, your values of your life, whether that's in career, your lifestyle, your financial goals, your social goals, your business goals, whatever it is. And when you keep on seeking that. And there will be times where it will work against you. Things don't always work in your favor. Then that's when the depression gets aggravated. It's either from, well, look how hard I've worked. Look how much I have done to achieve, to be this perfect image that I've created for myself and my life, but it's not working out. So you get more depressed. The depression gets aggravated and it gets worse. Or maybe you get to the point of burnout because you are trying to achieve all these goals. So you look perfect to whether to family, to friends, to yourself, to a certain lifestyle and image that you've been trying to perfect, but it's not working out. Then you set yourself up for disappointment. And that disappointment and frustration aggravates your depression. And with depression, it spirals. It can start small. Well, first of all, there's various reasons one gets depressed. It can start small, but then the layers keep going and it can make it worse. And this perfectionist attitude can make depression worse. So that's number one reason. Okay, so number two is you have to ask yourself, where is this perfectionistic attitude? What is the source? Where is it coming from? And I'm not just talking about people with like six-figure incomes, like athletes or entertainers, some huge influential people. It can happen to anyone in any parts or sectors of life. So again, ask yourself, where does this perfectionist attitude where I always feel like I need to accomplish or get more or do more? Because if I don't, then what is the point of life? Or then I'm not a valuable person in life, or I'm to be ashamed, or any of these sources of thinking. Does it stem from childhood? Does it stem from my peer group because I see other friends or family members are striving or continuing to do more, be more, have more, and they don't seem to get exhausted or have any shame about it, but for some reason it's impacting you and your mental health. So first, search deep down inside of the source, because there's always a source of something that is happening in your life. And don't compare it to other people, because we all have different ways of how we were raised, of how we live, how we think, personality types. All this dynamics makes somebody's mental health. So that's why you don't compare yourself like, well, she can handle it. She can do it. It's not affecting her. See, she seems like she's happy with it. She seems like she can do it. But maybe you can't because you have a different personality type. You have different values. You have a different way of how you've been raised, and your different culture, different choices in life, or different interests. You're just like, maybe I don't want to do that. Why am I striving for that when I want to do this instead? These are just questioning. I'm just setting these as an example of questions you have to understand to see what does the source of this perfectionism, which is impacting your mental health, making your anxiety worse, making your depression worse. And even people get to suicidal ideation because of this, and which is awful. And I know you have heard those stories in the media. And yeah, it's always attributed to some, I don't know, some big athlete or somebody that's doing and striving more. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, wow, I would be burnt out too if I was doing all of that. But it can happen to anyone. So start questioning yourself, where is this source coming from? And it could be something from maybe your parent, just giving examples from other stories I've heard. Hey, I was raised by someone that told me that I should make sure I go after the top positions, the top paying jobs. making sure I have like a big family, make sure I have the big house. It's just how I was raised by my mother, my father. Oh, go to the top schools. Again, this is just an example. I'm just trying to share how the thought process of perfectionism. Obviously, you have to think about it in your life. What is it pushing yourself to almost burn out, that it's impacting your depression? So start questioning and start looking within. Look within yourself. Don't talk about somebody else's story or how this person is thinking, how this person is handling things, why this person is doing that and you're not doing. Look within yourself right now and start asking the questions. What is this source of this perfectionistic attitude of me continuously trying to strive and accomplish? And if I don't, it's going to really damage my mental health. And I'm going to go in that downward spiral and think that I'm an awful person or I'm not doing enough in my world that I'm living right here on this planet. Okay, number 3, the connection of your thought patterns or your conditioning of what you're used to, the perfectionism, how it can impact making your depressed state worse, is thinking about what happens if I have this perfectionistic attitude towards myself. What's going to happen if I live an imperfect life, or if I'm not imperfect in every aspect of my life of raising my kids and having the career, having my hobbies and my workout and this and that and this and that? What happens with that? Am I all of a sudden a bad person? Do I really care about what other people think? Is there something or someone that I need to remove myself because they're making me feel that way? So it's triggering me that I have to keep up. It's just, again, questioning yourself is what's wrong with the word of being imperfect. And what does that mean? I feel like everybody has a definition, a different definition. Definition for you of perfect, it's going to be a different definition for me. Imperfect, it's going to be because, again, we all live different lives. We have different personalities. We come from different cultures, different upbringings. So really just question just for yourself is what happens if I'm just not the top of everything that I do or wanting to do or have everything under control every day of the week and just continuously trying to accomplish. Is that what my life is all based about? Is that all life is about? And start defining what imperfection means to you. And try to be imperfect for 1 week, 1 day. See what that feels like, letting go of something. And when it does happen, just and check to see like, wow, this wasn't so bad after all, being imperfect or having everything under control or having everything handled or strived. Again, I know there are people like that. We know that. We know those kind of people that they have to have constant. I've known those people, okay? Those people have actually stressed me out. It's made me more stressed. I've even put pressure on myself. Even the pressures I might share might be minor to someone else, but they were major to me. And all it did was make me stressed out and burnt out. Then I thought to myself, I don't even believe in perfectionism. It's funny, that word has never, ever been in my life. And I've never even been raised. My mom did, actually, my parents didn't even raise me that way. So I didn't know perfectionism. I was never an overachiever, or that was something that just wasn't. I put my pressure on myself to do things, but never to be perfect, because that wasn't in my vocabulary, but I knew people like that. So I can understand it. So I want you to start questioning about it and make sure it doesn't impact your depressed level, and say it's okay if I sit back and take it easy, cut things out of my life, not try to be the best in every area, and not try to please parents or friends or whoever you're trying to please. Ask yourself, who are you trying to please? Are you really trying to please yourself? and tell yourself it's okay to slow down. It's okay not to be perfect. It's okay to say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. The six-figure career that I'm supposed to do because I wanted to do it since I was 5 years old. It's okay if I let that go. It's okay if I don't want to do this little hobby, but my parents pushed me when I was, I don't know, a teenager, but now I'm doing it and I hate it, but I feel like I need to keep doing, or whatever it is that's really driving you crazy, making your mental health, depression worse. And all it's going to do, it's going to build up. It's going to build up and it will get worse. And the best thing to do about it actually is to seek a therapist. And CBT therapists, they're really good about that because these are thought processes. And I have a link on my profile right here in my description. If you're interested in CBT therapy, please check it out. It's online therapy. I'm here. I'm here to have open conversations. I'm a person that has gone through mild, moderate, and severe depression. I feel like I know it in the back of my hand, and I get it. So that's why I look up information to share with you, and also based on personal experience to let you know you're not the only one, and that there is hope, and it's okay to accept yourself for who you are and not comparing yourself to other people. It's okay to slow down, and it's okay to feel upset sometimes, frustrated, angry, sad. Those are normal emotions. Please don't be a robot. You are human. And that's all I want to wrap it up with. Thank you so much for joining with here to Healing Minds. Don't forget to subscribe. And it's okay to leave comments here. Feel free. I want to hear your experience. If perfectionism has impacted your mental health and made your depression worse. Share below, and don't forget to subscribe to Healing Minds. Thanks, everyone. Until next time. Bye.